microanatomy pieces, the first thing you want to do is skip over the pancreas. Okay, because the pancreas is kind of hard to see, the islet of Langerhans. So do that last, because Daniel and I probably have to come show you. But on this slide, this kind of looks like an islet of Langerhans. It's discolored section. That's what it's going to look like. You're going to see light pink and then suddenly a dark pink, or it could be darker on your slides. You can't really see any on this one. Maybe there's one right there, but it's a lot harder to see. Okay. The ovary. Okay, so this is a Graphian or mature follicle. That means the same thing. So what you're looking at, you're going to have this big wide open space, and then the oocyte, which is this right here, sits on a little pedicle or pedestal. It's kind of, you remember what that is. And so that's the way you can tell a Graphian follicle is going to have this big oocyte. Okay, and then, let's see. That's probably going to be a secondary follicle right there. But the way you can tell the difference, I've got them on the board. The primary follicle has one layer of cells, and then the secondary has 2 layers of cells. So remember, it's that cycle where you start with the immature follicles, and it becomes a mature follicle. So it has to grow. These lines are kind of hard to see. So that's probably a bronchiole right there. There's another one. You're looking for tubes. Because remember, bronchioles are those little tubes, so you're taking a cross-section of a tube, so it should be circular. And then if you remember the alveoli are kind of like grapes, on a stalk, and so that's the way you can remember what those are. And so basically that's going to be kind of the stuff in between. So if we were to label this, that'd be a bronchiole, this thing right here on the mouse, or this. Okay, I see those? And then like this would be alveoli. Alveoli is plural, alveolus is singular. So here's some. And the stomach slide's really bad, so we can't really use this one. But behind the screen, when I pull this up, you can look at that. But the duodenum does look a lot like it. So this is the duodenum. So you can see this is the mucosa, starting here. Okay, so if you imagine it like this is basically a picture of the duodenum. So what we've done, we've taken a cross-section of this tube. So this is the inside where your food goes. Okay, so this is the lumen, but I don't think you need to know that on this one. What you do need to know is this is the mucosa, starting here in the lumen and going down to this muscle layer. Okay, so from here to here is the mucosa.
So that's the layer closest to the inside of the actual food?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and then if you can see how it's really dark purple right there, it transitions into this long, thin muscle layer. So that's the muscularis mucosa. Okay, so you can see how, everybody see how it runs from here? Everyone keeps going and kind of comes down a little bit. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay. It's pretty easy to see. Submucosa is going to be from the muscle down to about there. Okay. So this is submucosa between these two. So this is going to be the inner muscle layer right here. So that runs from about right there down to there. Okay. So that's the inner muscle layer, so it's innermost to the lumen. Okay, so this is the outer muscle layer right here. So between these two, you see how there's a different color? Everybody see that? Okay. So the outside is the serosa, just that single layer. So if I were to point at this outer layer, you can think back to the artery. If I pointed at the tunica intima, it's that single layer on the inside. Whereas this is just going to be that single layer on the outside.
So it's not the whole white part, it's just the one, like, line, basically.
Yeah, it's the lining. The serosa is the lining. Yeah.
Okay.
So if I were to put the pointer right there, what do y'all think that would be?
The one before the serosa?
Yeah, the outer
muscular.
Okay, so the large intestine, this is a lot easier to see. What you need to know here is the mucosa, which starts there and goes down to there. And then the submucosa, this is really easy to see, goes from there down to there. And then the muscularis externus, this layer right here. Right, this pink, this dark pink layer. Everybody see that? And this is a goblet cell right there. Okay, the kidney, this is a little glomerulus right there, a little circular area. And this is a closer look of it. I mean, you can see another one right there, then another one right there. But you see how it's kind of sectioned off from the rest of it. It's pretty easy to see. Sublingual cellment. You got that. The duct is right there, so you can see the light space or the empty space in the middle. So again, you're taking a cross section of a tube, so it's going to be empty in the middle. That's probably another duct right there. There's another one. Okay. And what's the other one? Mucus cells. So there's one there, there. All these little ones. Yeah, the dark ones. Yeah. So here's a line of them right here on the right side. Here's some more on the middle. That one.
I'm assuming on the practical, like, we're not just going to have to identify the structures, we'll have to identify what they're within first. I mean, like, it's not going to say sublingual.
Yeah, so the first thing you're going to do is say, what tissue is this? So you'll have to say this is kidney tissue, because we're not going to tell you what it is. And then we might say, what structure is this? So, I mean, I'll admit it's kind of tough, but
Great.
I've done it before too.
Great.
I'm glad to do it.
Yay.
It's just a matter of memorizing. I can't make it more exciting than that. Because I can dance, but you don't want to see me dance.
I do.
I really do. Actually.
Amusing.
Okay, so the epididymis, if you think of this like a network of tubes going around, all we've done is taken a cross section of these tubes. So right here would just be the cross section of the tube, whereas maybe this one is sort of more lengthwise. So the pseudostratified columnar epithelium is what surrounds these tubes right there. Okay, that dark single cell right there. What's that? Which part? Pseudostratified columnar epithelium. So
We're gonna have to know how to spell
that.
that.
Impressed by that. Don't be impressed by that.
Right.
That's that thing. I don't want to say.